Import
and all that.
Broadcasting live in downtown Rice Lake, Wisconsin. You're logged on and listening to After Hours Radio.
Don't forget to stalk us on Facebook and Twitter for exclusive content and information from the artists you love. After Hours Radio, your Sunday night just got better.
See me talking, oh, you won't see me walking.
After Hours Radio on Dirty Chai Radio. I'm still Ryan Quinn. Thanks for joining me in the Dirty Chai studio on a Sunday such as this. Hopefully it's going as well for you as it is for me. Pleasant weekend. Started it up in Duluth for the Duluth Sports Show. Had a good time there. Met an interesting man from Minneapolis by way of Italy, if that makes sense. He's from Italy, lives in Minneapolis, and sells a snowfoot. It's like a snowshoe, but better. I don't do that type of thing, but if I did, I'd probably be in. Well, I probably would have bought one. Got a nice hat out of the deal, though. Hey, coming up tonight on the show, we're gonna break down some live performances that you might want to attend. We're also going to invite some folks to join us, and we're going to revisit a conversation that I had with Dustin DeGolyer. He was, we did a Dirty Chai Radio live interview, and we're going to replay that on tonight's show once we get to the long-burning 10 o'clock hour. So that and more all ahead here on After Hours Radio on Dirty Chai Radio. Don't forget, tonight we're live on dirtychairadio.com, the Live 365 radio app, YouTube, on the After Hours Facebook, YouTube, the Dirty Chai Radio YouTube, and where else? I feel like I'm missing something. It'll come to me. And if you miss anything, of course, you can find the podcast wherever you find podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Deezer, and more. So stick around to relive your favorite moments. This is Sin City, Sven Carlson on After Hours Radio.
Sin City, waiting for me. dressed up for the final dance. We're shut down, inspired. I'm here to take your call. New soul to higher. I will despite you all.
Half talk, half music. 100% original After Hours Radio. Your Sunday nights just got better.
To the silent night, an endless fall, like cuts from 1,000 knives. I hear you call, but I'm still stumbling in the dark, a silent howl as I dissolve into your arms. I waited now, seduced by a sweet the scar you left is like an open wound. I'm down and low. Don't wake me up, it's still too soon. I hear you call, but I'm still falling deep in love. I'm washed away and carried to your sweet embrace. I waited now, seduced by a sweet mirage. We could leave or we could stay, stay to stay to wide awake. I can't do this anymore, it's hurting like it never has before. We could leave or we could stay, stay to stay to wide awake. I can't do this anymore, it's hurting like it never has before. And it's hurting like it never has before. All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know
Keeping your music taste out of Sucker Creek since 2011, After Hours Radio, alternatively entertaining.
Do you still
come on After Hours Radio.
Cletus, wake up. Show's still going on. Yes. Hey. Kordell.
Yes.
Sam, it's not plugged in.
Oh.
We've really got our stuff together here. Is it turned on?
Yes.
I don't have you loud enough, huh?
Aha, there. That's my voice.
Hey, stick around. We're going to figure this out and have a good time.
Don't forget to stalk us on Facebook and Twitter for exclusive content and information from the artists you love. After Hours Radio, your Sunday night just got better.
White snow, red sky, reach up for so high. Blue eyes, fake cry, beware of the fox tonight.
Little party. And all that.
Broadcasting live in downtown Rice Lake, Wisconsin. You're logged on and listening to After Hours Radio.
forget to stalk us on Facebook and Twitter for exclusive content and information from the artists you love. After Hours Radio, your Sunday night just got better.
You don't have an inkling, think it back, do you? Sinking off the deep end is the deepest speaking to you. You don't know about the many miles that I travel. Pulling on my strings, just watching me unravel. Ridicule, picked on, beat up, and hassled on a daily basis, but it never got me rattled. One day replay this is a word from the king in his castle. Let the bells ring out and sing the victory for me in this battle. Didn't come easy, I handled all adversity with the common courtesy accordingly, yet I'm perfectly with a sense of uncertainty. Cause certainly I took a moment to look into my universe to see a ball of the world versus me hurling towards the sea. But before it reached, I destroyed that beast and implored my dreams from the core of me. On court release, so I've been more than free. Of course, I speak of unsworn to me. My door's been breached by a torch and piece of a sword to me. My every pore secretes the sweat, tears, and blood. I never expect respect in this life, cause I've never been given none once. I'm saying I have seen the most incredible. Oh man, I see him everywhere I go. I have seen the most incredible. In every city, on every map around the globe. I have seen the most incredible. The uncanny falsehood meter is on overload.
They wanna know how I feel about them. I'ma tell you right now, if they don't shut up, we gon' have a problem. Masked up when you see me in Harlem. I got that Batman, but no Gotham. I got 'em feeling good off that humble. Make you bums bull. I mistook all your quotes for some dumb jokes. Yeah, I stun folks. It's really nothing new. There's no question, it's clear what I've come to do. Out of my mind, I'm on another level. This is true. Stay on my grind, keep my foot on the pedal, making moves. Steady improvement. You cats keep losing. I could list all my wins, but it's useless.
I have seen the most incredible. You simply cannot escape the certainty. I have seen the most incredible. These cunning tales continue for eternity. I have seen the most incredible. Incredible lies and unforgettable lies perfectly. I have seen the most incredible. You can hardly believe it when the sight occurs. I have seen the most incredible. Oh man, I see you everywhere I go. I have seen the most incredible. You simply cannot escape the certainty. I have seen the most incredible. Incredible lies and unforgettable lies perfectly.
After Hours Radio on Dirty Chai Radio. I'm Ryan Quinn. With me in the Dirty Chai studio, I've got a Kordell.
That's me.
That is you.
Just playing with my mic over here.
I also have a Sam. Oh, I forgot to turn Sam up.
I am up, I think.
And it is my favorite segment. The segment where we get to break down different shows that are happening in the area. And Kordell, you're always so great at handling all of that. Can you do that again?
I try to do a thing or two. Let's see how it goes this week. We'll start it off on Thursday, the 22nd of February. Can you believe that it's already getting to the end of February?
No, I
No,
can't.
it's ridiculous.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But there's a burlesque. I don't know. It's 'cause something's going on at
burlesque?
the Amsterdam bar in Minneapolis, I do believe. I'm
burlesque
trying to
is
open this.
sweet.
A burlesque show?
It says Saturn
Burlesque is
Return.
awesome. It's like-
I can't open the event though,
It's like
I can't tell you more about it.
Well, all right.
unfortunately.
It's like if you want to see strippers but also feel cultural.
High class.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's this
Yeah.
Thursday at the Amsterdam bar. They have a Facebook event. If you want to find out more, go find their Facebook page. Looks like it starts at 8 o'clock on Thursday.
I'm sorry if I was reductive about burlesque. It's a whole thing.
I don't really know anything about it, and I can't tell you more about it just because I can't open the event. So
It's really cool.
otherwise, I
It
would.
was fun.
But it is at the Amsterdam bar.
Yes, on Thursday.
Huzzah.
This one's going on in Madison. It's a bluegrass doubleheader on Friday night, the 23rd at 7:30. It starts with Holler Home and the Sound Billies.
That's right, the Sound
Sound
Billies.
Billies.
The
That's coming up.
Sound Billy. It looks like it's at a place called the Wild Hog, which is inside of the Wilmer Neighborhood Center in Madison, Wisconsin. Doors are at
Is it
7, starts at
everything about
7:30,
that I
free
love?
parking.
Everything about that I love.
Is
Yeah.
there a greater than 0%
The Wild Hog,
chance that
that's
it's named
great.
after somebody's penis?
Wilmer's Wild Hog.
A little bit closer to home going on Friday night at the Lakely in Eau Claire. There's some late night jazz, I do believe.
Hey.
Tyler Lustig Confluence featuring Lydia Lovell or Lavelle, Lovell's how that's spelled. But,
Cool.
Yeah.
some jazz and whatnot going on. That's Friday night, starting at 7 o'clock in Eau Claire. Moving on to Saturday, more from Eau Claire at the Lakely, more jazz. Josh Gallagher, Sean Carey, and the Jeremy
Josh
Betcher.
Gallagher?
Josh
Gallagher.
Josh Gallagher.
Josh with
I'm
his
pretty sure
jazz.
that's what I said.
I think you did say Josh.
I heard Josh.
It's a mix of jazz and Josh.
Right. Josh with his jazz.
Anyways, that's on Saturday night at the Lakely, starting at 7 o'clock.
With Jazzy Josh.
There's a few things going on Saturday night, though, in Eau Claire. Three Dog Night is playing at the Pablo Center. That
Really?
starts at 8 p.m.
So, Three Dog Night has been to Rice Lake twice.
Okay.
No
but
way.
never all three of them together.
No way. Oh wait, they were here like
Well,
during
let's see.
their sort of like their heyday-ish, right?
Well,
Or
no,
like-
they were here in, I think, 2001 with two of the members.
Well, okay, so not their heyday, but like
Doesn't give me any information about who's gonna be there, so I can't confirm.
If it
or-
doesn't
that's
say
fair.
Chuck,
I saw Parliament without. Yeah, Bootsy was Bootsy is still up, but I saw Parliament without Bernie Worrell or Bootsy when Bernie Worrell was still alive. But I think it still counts as Parliament. I think.
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And, having seen both, what is it, Chuck Nygren, I think his last name is. Having seen both the other members and Chuck in the same city, on the same stage, 10 years apart, I feel like I got to see the full Three Dog Night experience.
I think that counts at
Yeah.
least for like
Oh,
one
sure.
full experience,
Yeah.
right?
Because it wasn't like one of them was dead or...
Is it a thing like Black Flag where they're split into factions and two of the three of them are Three Dog Night, but also one of them with two other people is also Three Dog Night?
Yes, but the Three Dog Night, I believe, is the two, and then it's Chuck Nygren does the music of Three Dog Night.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Yeah, this just says Three Dog
Yeah,
Night
so
on the
I'm
event.
assuming that's not Chuck.
Again, that's the Pablo Center at 8 p.m. Saturday night. And another one going on in Eau Claire. This is at the Mouse
He
Trap.
wrote a book called Three Dog Nightmare.
That's amazing.
Who, the Chuck guy?
I believe it was Chuck.
Wow.
About his experience in the band.
It's really, it's brutal.
I've never read it. I would like to.
Another one from Eau Claire. This is at the Mousetrap Tavern this Saturday night. The over-unders, Once More Autumn and John Forrest and the Model Citizens all playing. Looks like show kicks
They
off
sound
at
up-
9 o'clock.
They sound upstanding.
They do.
And the Model Citizens. Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
Sound like they're gonna provide a good example.
Over under. I'm on a roll. Like butter.
Nailed it.
Good Christ.
Nailed it.
You said my name?
Then moving on to the next week on the 28th of February, we got open mic night at Agonic. Starts at 6 o'clock.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's back.
It's back, baby.
Fuck yeah.
I'm so excited. I got some new music I'm going to do there.
Nice.
I might even try poetry.
Oh.
I'm sick of just slamming on the strings and hoping for the best.
Fair.
So I'll try something else.
Good luck to you. I'm excited.
Sam, you got to take off work and bring a bongo.
Dude. If you do really cringy slam poetry, yes.
That's what we're going to do. That's the plan.
I I love it.
We'll even
I-
dress up in parachute pants.
I
Not
am-
because parachute pants have anything to do with poetry, but that's what I want to do.
Well, it feels because they feel 90s, and slam poetry also is it's like a hallmark of the era.
Plus,
Yeah.
like, poetry and parachute pants just sounds cool to say.
Yeah, it's parachute poetry.
That needs to be like a theme for a wine dinner.
These are my
poetry and parachute.
These are my
pants, wine
parachute
dinner.
poetry pants.
The
The next Dirty Chai
What if
event.
you doing 90s wine dinner, poetry and parachute pants?
I'm
Fundraiser for something.
I'm down for that.
Dude,
I'm
if we
down.
can get people to wear parachute pants for a fundraiser,
Well,
I am
here's-
all for that.
Here's the
That's
thing.
awesome.
This needs to fucking happen.
I think we could do it, but I don't think that people would be able to find the parachute pants. We'd have to go as Zumbas.
We need the fundraiser for the parachute pants, and then we have the fundraiser where we wear the parachute
A
pants,
two-stage
which
fundraiser.
is a completely separate fundraiser for something else.
This is Andy Nelson.
It was 12 p.m. Another day without a job. Get a call from my friend for a pawn shop stop. What the hell, I ain't got nothing going on. So I walked down the stairs from my old apartment. Hit the cement down the Main Street Market. Light a cigarette, stare into traffic. My back's on the wall by the pawn shop. Girlfriend wants some smokes and pop from the store just down the street. I think I'll ride there on my skateboard. Cruising down the avenue, I see you in your Jeep. You beat your horn and say hello. I say what's up. You say you've been working behind the gas station, painting some buildings, having good times and living. I say I'm making music in my old apartment, right by the pawn shop. Stop up. Stop up. Stop up. Up, up. Stop up. Up, up. Stop up. Up, 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 stop up. Come back to
not gonna stress, not gonna make a mess. Oh, no, I wanna be less than I can be. No waterfalls to wash me. The wicked drowning water, let go, wicked one. You wicked drowning water. I wanna be less than I can be. No waterfalls to wash me, cleanse me. The wicked drowning water, let go, wicked one. The wicked drowning water.
Keeping your music taste out of Sucker Creek since 2011. After Hours Radio. Alternatively entertaining.
Import and all that.
Broadcasting live in downtown Rice Lake, Wisconsin. You're logged on and listening to After Hours Radio.
After Hours Radio, Dirty Chai Radio. I'm Ryan Quinn. With me in the Dirty Chai studio, we have a Sam.
Hey, hey, hey.
We also have a Kordell. Oh. Is it on? That wasn't my fault this time.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the program. Nice to have you here. So, Kordell, Sam, off air, we were having a pretty intense discussion, and I figured it right to bring it on air. And that's gardening. Sam, you're
Not an avid gardener, but I like eating things that come from gardens.
I was gonna say you've got a bit of a green thumb, don't you?
Not really.
No?
I grew my peppers in buckets so I could move them if I needed to, and also so I didn't have to weed them. So that's not really being
sounds
green
efficient.
thumb. That's just being strategically lazy.
But you've, Kordell,
Huh?
you've planted things in your apartment, which I'd have to say your apartment doesn't get a whole lot of light, so that's challenging.
We did build
It's
it. We
terrible.
me and my friends built a hydroponics kit in college at Home Depot with no tools.
Nice.
It was really funny. We didn't have a car. We had to take like the buses to the outskirts of Madison and then use the in-store saw to cut like 45 pieces of PVC and then take it all to the checkout because we were in the dorms and had no tools and wanted to grow things.
Tomatoes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Gotta grow your own fresh ingredients at college.
Yeah,
we-
definitely.
we were also talking
Microgreens.
about like a community garden,
Yeah.
and how cool would that be to like be able to just hang out on a bench and there's a big old sunflower or something right next to you,
I think that would be awesome.
I do like
think we should have that.
sunflowers.
like some native grasses. You know, over in the cities or the suburbs, which one? Egan, I think, has Thomas Lake Park. It could be Burnsville. It's like right on the border of the two.
Okay.
And they've got this blacktop trail. And I've never walked all the way down it, just part of it. And it looks like it just kind of loops around a pond, and it's got nice tall grass everywhere, a couple benches. That's kind of neat. And, you know, they're kind of doing something like that over by the, whatchamacallit, the dam.
Yeah. That's,
It's like the start of
They
something.
got the tree museum over there.
Yeah, they do have
Yeah.
the tree museum. But imagine this, right? You've got that trail that kind of leads down to the skating rink. But what if you could make it over to the old skating rink? You've got that footbridge. So you've got to cross
Yeah.
Main Street, but that's not.
Well, it's a nice little spot because it's tucked into the back of that neighborhood, but you can also walk to it from Maine pretty easily.
Yeah, and it, like from Main Street, if you walked down and like where a lot of the people fish, you could plant some flowers and native grasses. Still allow people to fish and stuff over there. But then have like a strolling garden, if you will, that goes to the footbridge.
Yeah, like there's, for thinking of the same field where there's that like fire hydrant and shit, right?
Yeah,
On
it
the,
would,
if you were walking on the footpath towards Marketplace, there's that little downhill down into it.
yeah, and that was the old ice skating rink back
Okay,
in the
yeah,
day.
Okay.
I went ice
I
skating
didn't
there.
know that.
Yeah.
It's got the big hills around it, it's a little valley.
I didn't know it was the ice skating rink, but I assumed that's what you were talking about because it's flat.
Yeah,
Like-
and we actually used to go sledding there too.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It was a little less grown up than it is now, but still. Oh my goodness! My one of my friends, we were all sledding down that hill, and there's trees and stuff on it, and we made jumps, and like there were different parts of the hill that's more steep than others, so like there'd be
Oh yeah, that ravine's got to be great for that.
oh yeah, and we'd make like little jumps for the younger kids and bigger jumps for people that just didn't care. And I believe it was a kid named Andy. He goes flying down, goes off a jump, disconnects from his sled, and lands in a tree.
Yep.
Nice.
That was intense. I'll never forget that. Most things, well, weren't successful going down those hills. Those were actually pretty wild hills. But Andy was the worst. Nobody got it worse than Andy. Poor guy. I suppose you couldn't do that if there was a garden there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could strategically sled down. There's a lot of you could sled down that hill and that whole, like, the ravine is big.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, I guess I don't know. Yeah, like I would just, if it was me and I was I don't know, I'd just sled like the other side down into the creek or something because that's that's 100 feet away.
When I was a little bit older than the sledding and the ice skating, the ice skating rink had moved on by this point. We used to, somebody else had tied a rope to a tree over the river. And wouldn't you know it, it's like the one spot in the Red Cedar that's in Rice Lake that's like actually 8 feet deep.
Nice.
They
knew where to put their rope.
Yeah, everywhere else is like gonna come up to your ankles or something. And
Not this spot.
this one spot, you could swing and jump and not touch the bottom unless you tried. It was amazing. Now, if you missed the spot, you were in trouble. But it was a pretty big spot. We pulled a bike out of it once.
Wow.
We had been jumping and nobody hit the bike, and then somebody decided to go all the way down, and hey, there was a bike. So we got the bike out of the way.
Nice.
I don't know if that's still a thing, but people used to throw bikes in Rice Lake all the time. Like, people would steal a bike and throw it in. Yeah. I'd say it's a TikTok trend, but this was before TikTok.
No, I know about those sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoodlums.
Yeah, doing things and stuff.
But yeah, I think community garden, cool.
Yeah, and you could have that garden go right over to that part of the river too.
Yeah.
Like with more
well, that's like actually
plants.
That's a really nice spot. That's a pretty big area. You could actually.
Yeah, and don't take down the trees. There's a lot of shade. So
no, I mean like having
like
the open.
Ferns and
yeah, well, okay, so like, because on the side of the road towards me, that's big and open enough. You could do anything that needs full sun.
Yeah, that's true. And then across the road, you fill that up with ferns and a little path down to the river.
You could let the berries that are growing, you could sort of selectively prune around the berries and cultivate a berry patch.
Yeah, you could.
Because there's raspberries in there.
Clean up
we
some
plant
of the
more
dead.
stuff like that, like berry bushes and apple trees and stuff, so that people can just have.
It's hard
free.
it's hard to propagate blackberries.
But like if you had an apple tree in the middle of that ravine there, that
would be awesome.
Yeah, why can't we have more apple trees around town?
I would love having fruit trees all over.
Yeah. How many fruit trees actually grow in Wisconsin though? An apple tree does. We used to have an apple tree in my yard.
Yeah, it's certain species of apple, certain species of pear, crab apples.
I think ours was
I
a
don't
crab
know
apple
what
tree.
else. Like
that. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty limited just because of the climate we're in. But
still having an apple. I mean, having a couple apple trees so that folks could just, whenever they wanted a fresh apple.
Yeah, and the apple trees that grow up here are good for like pie and preserving.
Yeah.
So they go a long way.
They do. All right. So we need 3 apple trees. What else are we putting in our garden? The sunflower, obviously.
I mean, I
Some
just want an
marigolds.
ocean of herbs.
Yeah. Things that blow in the wind. Grain. Some sort.
Like, I wonder, like, it would be cool to have just like an ass load of cilantro, but then it would have to be getting harvested fast enough because if it goes to seed, it turns into coriander. But then you get coriander too, which is nice.
What's coriander? I know cilantro. Oh, what's
Coriander. Coriander's the seeds. Once it flowers out and goes to seed, the leaves get bitter.
Oh, so
But
you
I
don't
think-
eat it.
Yeah, but you eat the seeds then. But before it goes to seed, you can actually eat like the whole plant. Like cilantro stems are actually better than leaves. They've got more beef to them.
Mm-hmm.
I love the smell of cilantro. I do not like cilantro.
But you like the smell of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you have the bad gene where it tastes like soap?
Perhaps. It's been so long since I had it. I used to work at Taco John's, so I had to cut the onions and cut the cilantro and cut everything. And it was... I always loved cutting the cilantro. The onions, not so much.
Yeah, cutting onions is not... I mean, I like... Yeah, I don't like.
It's not
when
so
it,
bad. You just
yeah.
can't get emotionally attached to the onions.
Yeah, there's that. Like,
I do, if I remember correctly, loved dicing the tomatoes. I hate tomatoes too, but taking that little cube thing and just that's
yeah,
right.
the smasher.
Yeah,
That's
it was
fair.
great.
Can't
And
argue with
the
that.
sour cream and the caulk guns.
That's fun. I like McDonald's had cocking guns for like the mac sauce and the mayonnaise and the
Oh
tartar sauce.
yeah,
Man, we didn't. I've never had that at any place that I've worked at.
They're really convenient.
there.
Culver's just had squeeze bottles.
You'd put the squeeze bottle in the caulking
No.
gun, and
We didn't have one of those.
Yeah, they're like, and then your mayonnaise comes in like caulking tubes.
Nope, we didn't have that.
that's.
Our mayonnaise just came in giant jugs, and we had to fill our own.
I also hate
bottles.
sour cream.
If I,
But you have a lot of foods
Oh
you
wait,
don't like.
no, we
Yeah, that's
didn't
true.
use squeeze bottles. We put it. I think we put it in a little square container and spread it on.
That is my preferred method for all
Actually,
sauces.
I think that's what we did with the
That's what she
mayonnaise.
said.
Actually,
Yeah, I would prefer to have everything in containers with spoons, but
we did that, and
At
then
my work, we have
customers just got the
900
mayo
sauces.
packets or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
community garden
and
herbs,
mayonnaise.
herbs,
And mayonnaise.
Yeah, grow some mayonnaise.
Can we also get some community chickens?
Dude, there's already community chickens down the fucking street from me. They show up at my driveway sometimes.
I never get to see the community chickens.
Well, you don't live in the adjacent woods.
No.
Yeah, because there's that. They'll go back. They live at one of the houses on the ravine, so they just maraud back through there and end up in my yard.
I need to move.
You know, I love that there's chickens just wandering through a forested part of the city.
It is really funny. It was great when me and Laura first saw that, we were really fucked up too. Like standing out, like, is that a chicken? That is a chick. Why is there a chicken?
Chickens don't usually walk around these parts.
Yeah, I'm not expecting that.
That's great.
I
You know-
suppose it would be dangerous for the chickens to be closer down to Main Street where I am, so
Yeah.
it's good that they don't come down by me.
There was a house that's no longer there now. It was at the top of Allen Street in Rice Lake. And I remember they were in the police log quite often because their sheep would walk all the way down the Allen Street hill and were getting in the way of the traffic at the intersection of Wisconsin and Allen.
Someone actually had sheep in town.
Right on the edge. It was the next house, or the next thing was the freeway. There's a house right next to the freeway.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what
over
you're
by
talking. Yeah.
where the church is now?
Yeah.
Yeah, across the street. And
Gotcha.
the sheep weekly were getting down to Wisconsin Avenue.
Dude, I don't get that. That's like,
Contain your sheep, people.
I kind of love that though. Like, why
Yeah.
can't we just have wandering chickens and sheep?
You
I don't
should
want
get
to
a-
take
you
care
should-
of them.
You should get a goat. And
No, somebody else should get a goat. That's I don't want the responsibility. So if we just had wild goats and sheep walking around, like, all right, cool. It's like a big squirrel.
I love the idea of like carless patches that could be like open dog area or like open pet area, or you don't have to
like build like a dog park or something.
Well, we'll just have like
We
well,
have
like
a
more
dog
like
park.
if you had like, say, if you had like a couple city blocks that adjoining.
But the dogs aren't allowed. You can bring your sheeps and goats.
Yeah, okay, well,
And your emus,
llamas,
llamas,
alpacas,
alpacas, yes.
chickens,
Chickens.
I think
goats.
like chickens are actually like a pretty desirable urban ag thing because they also eat ticks.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's
That's
so. Not
why
only are we
need
building
more
a
chickens.
not only are we building a community garden, we're building a community farm. Oh shit! This just got big. Who's gonna feed the animals? Nose
What
goes.
if we all take turns?
I
The people who value the animals will feed them.
We could do like
that
a
yes,
could do
yes.
like
The
a-
people that
a
value
rotate-
them.
Dude,
rotating.
you have no idea how much I've been reading about like communal anarchism lately. So the people who care about the animals will feed the animals.
There we go. You care about.
Also, there was a great okay, you know how there's the whole trope of who
If you
will
build it,
who
they
will
will
fix
come.
the potholes in a governmentless society. There was it was 2019, pre everything ridiculous, but there's a group of noted anarchists going around fixing the potholes in Minneapolis in the places where the city wasn't fixing the fucking potholes.
You know what's great is about that time, I believe it was in Texas or California, Domino's did that.
Oh, I love it.
Domino's just went around
yeah.
and fixed the potholes.
They
Oh,
did
The
dude.
Domino's branded car.
I love that so much.
Yeah, good for you for being a company that cares about your community. I mean, I get
And
it.
it's borderline petty, but in the best way.
Right,
Yeah.
because their delivery drivers have to drive on those roads.
Dude, yeah, it probably affects their I hope they did actually get cheaper insurance out of that, because they should be incentivized to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really should. That's more people should fill potholes. That's the lesson here. And grow community gardens. Kordell, if somebody needed to take notes on all the things we're putting in our farm and growing in our garden, how's the best way for them to catch up?
Yeah, you want to hear more about our chicken shenanigans? You can relive it in a lot or places. Spotify, iHeartRadio,
Batman's
Apple.
wife is a chicken.
You can try and cluck or moo or bah at your Google or your Alexa, but I wouldn't trust them. They're robots. You can also find us on Deezer. What's that new one? Live 365?
Yeah, live.
You can find us there,
365.
and the best place of all is dirtychatradio.com, of course.
You know how often we're on Live 365?
You can see our faces, too, in a couple of places, YouTube and on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
We do all have Facebooks.
And
Well,
we stream
but
live
the,
to Facebook.
the streaming is now live on Facebook.
Oh.
For
And on Mixcloud.
Ooh.
yeah.
So we're everywhere you are. This is Kix Duckma, Cordell's
Yeah, hopefully
favorite
you
song.
like that.
just want to feel alive.
Half talk, half music. 100% original After Hours Radio. Your Sunday nights just got better.
I got your eyes on my mind. You're like a fine bottle of wine. I crave your kiss all the time. Baby, I wanna drink you up tonight. But it's so hard to focus when you're standing next to me. Baby, you're all that I need. You keep turning me on. You keep making me feel so good. So good. I know where I belong. Nowhere better than here with you. We're so good together. Na, 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 yeah. There's a spark in your eyes, shining bright as the sky. You got that very special thing. You're like a queen, I wanna be your king. But it's so hard to focus when you're standing next to me. Baby, you're all that I need, yeah. You keep turning me on. You keep making me feel so good. So good. I know where I belong. Nowhere better than here with you.
Import and all that.
Broadcasting live in downtown Rice Lake, Wisconsin. You're logged on and listening to After Hours Radio.
We have reached the long burning 10 o'clock hour.
Wake up, Cletus.
Cletus, wake up. Show's still going.
I don't know what I did with my
You broke it?
No, I just don't know where it went.
You lost it.
Oh, there it is.
Well, lucky for you.
I found it.
Oh, good.
Sam's still here too.
Yes. Lucky for you, Sam, though. We are, as it turns out, not going to be needing to talk much because for this week we're going to talk with Dustin DeGoyer.
Fuck yeah.
DeGoyer. It's a pre-recorded conversation that I had with him last week, so it's pretty fresh. So if you wanted to know more about Dustin, well, this is your opportunity.
Wahoo!
I'm sorry, I forgot to turn you back up here. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I think I'm making a habit of forgetting to turn the guest mic on. I apologize for that. But you are. I'm so glad that you were able to take some time out and chat with us this morning. You are a very busy musician in this in this part of the world, and for good reason. Super talented. We had the pleasure of booking you with the jazz band Third Wind at the Silver Dollar Saloon back in April of this year. And let me tell you, it's still, or I'm sorry, not this year. That would have been last year already. My goodness.
Right. Yeah.
But out of all the shows that we put on last year, that one still is a highlight of last year's roster. But jazz isn't necessarily what you play all the time. For folks that haven't heard you, don't necessarily know, how best do you describe your, for lack of a better word, music persona?
Oh, interesting. Well, it's ever-changing, chameleon-like, so to speak. I started playing punk rock and rock and roll, Led Zeppelin covers, stuff like that, and then kind of moved into the blues and jazz territory, and I studied jazz guitar, and so I still love to play that music whenever I can. I was just at the Lakely in Eau Claire last week, but I'm in a lot of classic rock cover bands. I'm in more of an acoustic bluegrass band, and I also do a lot of duo and solo work. So I guess the solo work maybe is most personal to me and my voice is really mellow, a lot of jazz standards and kind of old Beatles, Ray Charles, Bill Withers, stuff like that. And I don't know. I think they all kind of represent me, but that one's maybe the most personal, and I play some of my originals with that configuration too.
I want to talk a little bit about your originals too, but it sounds like you pull a lot of inspiration from maybe not necessarily soul music in its purest form, but kind of more soulful music of a variety of genres.
Yeah, absolutely. Rhythm and blues music. Absolutely. I think that's kind of the genesis for all the music I play, whether it's the classic rock stuff or more contemporary stuff. Definitely.
You had mentioned at the beginning of there that when you first started out that kind of punk rock was a little bit of an influence. So you start from punk and end up this multi-genre musician. So how did that progression start? I assume that punk was kind of adolescent years and kind of first getting to know music. Am I wrong in that?
No, you're absolutely correct. And what's funny is I still listen to a lot of that music. I find myself going back to it more and more. But it's certainly not the music I play. You know, you're not going to find me out and about doing Minor Threat or Black Plague covers.
Are you sure though?
What's that?
Are you sure that can't we book you for that?
Oh, I would please. I'm anxious for any opportunity to play that music. It's near and dear to me. No, I think it was a combination of, I had a really good teacher named Manfred. He owns the old Pipe Lake Schoolhouse, the Pipe Dream Center. And so he got me going at an early age on improvisation and took me down the blues route. And then I started to see the connections between blues and let's say the Led Zeppelin music I was listening to. And then in high school, we had a wonderful music program in Cumberland, still do. And so I had a lot of opportunities to play with the jazz band and solo ensemble, and so that and eventually honors, the state honors jazz band. So because of all those opportunities, those concerts and auditions, that's really what kind of thrust me more into the, we could say, academic realm of music.
It sounds like you got introduced not just to music from a listener standpoint, but from a creator's standpoint early on in your life. How would you, and I guess you kind of answered this a little bit, but how would you say that informs your decisions on what projects you want to be a part of, or what songs that you think are going to be the best crowd pleasers?
Yeah, that's a great question. Certainly grew up with music in the household. Both my parents played trumpet. My sisters and I all played trumpet. And I think of my dad personally, you know, he was always singing around the house, and he loved the Beatles. He loved the Rolling Stones. So I grew up with those influences. You know, I still kind of have that ongoing debate in my head all the time of who's better, Stones or Beatles. And I go back and forth.
Who is it right now?
Oh man. Right at this moment, it's the Rolling Stones, and it's a controversial take, but there's a bigger catalog to pull from there. If I put it this way, I had a friend recently tell me that if you had to choose between the two, if you could only have one catalog to listen to, the Stones maybe have a bigger catalog.
And you don't necessarily think of the Stones as multi genre, but they do change sound for each era that they've been performing. So it's a big catalog and still very varied while staying true to the Stones sound. Personally, I have that debate amongst myself as well, and I got to see the Stones with my dad. Oh, when was that? 2 years ago, I think now.
Wow!
The Black Pumas were opening. Charlie Watts had just passed away. He was supposed to be on that tour, and I think we were like the first or second show without Charlie. And since then it's been decided that the Stones are where it's at. But I could come back around to the Beatles. I do enjoy the new Beatles song, if you will, the Now and Then. So that opened up the door for the Beatles to step back in a little bit.
Sure.
But still holding on to the Stones. Outside of kind of that Led Zeppelin and the Stones and that kind of heavier bluesy sound of the 60s and 70s, where does your inspiration go to from there then? If that's kind of the foundation, what came next, or what holds the most dear place in your heart next to that?
Interesting. So I can kind of narrow it down to a few specific bands from my adolescence. My older sister was a big music head, both my sisters, and she left behind a big CD catalog. So when I really got into music, we'll say sixth grade, probably 10, 11 years old, Sublime was kind of my gateway band. And so because they got me into all the old punk rock that I mentioned, and as well as reggae. You know, I became a big Bob Marley fan, and Toots and the Maytals, and so they kind of broke things wide open for me. And then the following year, it was the White Stripes put out their Elephant record, and I'd never heard guitar like on Black Math and Ball and a Biscuit, and again I was seeing this correlation between kind of old blues music that maybe my teacher were bestowing upon me, and I was hearing on like WOJB, but it was kind of mixed with that punk rock aggression, and there's a real urgency to it. So after that point, I was into anything Jack White was into, from the Stooges to I don't know, Hank Williams and Robert Johnson.
Sure.
And
Well,
I could keep going and going about this band and that band, but
I was gonna say there's a little bit of a difference between Jack White and was it Hank Williams that you said that?
Yeah.
but still, the Hank Williams, and especially Hank Williams Jr. kind of held on to that, or I guess maybe not held on to it, but had that punk rock attitude with their music and the way that they demanded to be respected and listened to as musicians and artists. Would you say that for you that's kind of what, I might be wording this wrong, but that's kind of what comes first, is the musicianship of the music, the care taken to construct that piece, if you will?
That's an ongoing debate, I guess, in my mind as well. Is that I have a lot of training, and I think I'm kind of hard on myself. Yeah, I take a lot of pride in what I do, so I want things to be precise. At the same time, a lot of the music I've just listed, whether it's blues or punk, isn't always the most precise, cleanly produced music, and I think some of the best art isn't perfect, especially as it pertains to music. So there's kind of an ongoing push and pull there, if you will.
I had a conversation with Nikki Pepper last week, and Sublime had been brought up there as well. And
nice.
I do open mics occasionally, and as you know, I'm more of a hip hop artist than anything else. I know about 2.5 chords on a guitar, so when
all you need.
Right, 2.5 and the truth, right?
Right.
Pardon me, but when I first started doing open mics and knowing that I don't really have much to offer, I clung on to, have you heard Bradley Noel and Friends acoustic album?
Yes. Oh yeah.
And that's where I pull a lot of, I don't know if you want to call it inspiration, but it tells me it's okay to get behind the mic right now, because that it has a lot of the Sublime songs that you know. The words are somewhat there on the songs. The instrumentation sometimes matches, but really it sounds like it was the whole album. It sounds like it was recorded at an open mic or some sort of really low key performance where all the mistakes are still there. Sometimes Brad's not even singing the words and mumbling along or shouting this or that. And as much as I love the full studio albums of any band, really, when you get sort of, and Beatles have like the outtakes and things too,
right,
where it's not perfect, and that's almost what makes it perfect, is that now you're starting to get into the human of the music, the experience of the art a little bit. And when I was watching you and Emily and help me here. I hate
Valerie.
Yes, Valerie. When I was watching you guys, it was all very intricate music, and it was a jazz show, and that's known to be a little more precise than Sublime. But when you guys were on stage, that was one of the things that I noticed too about the three of you, is that the human experience of the music was there while you were playing. You guys were almost a part of your instruments or a part of the microphone while Val was singing, and it takes a lot of talent to be able to do that, both in that more avant-garde style that we were talking about with Sublime, and that more academic training that that you've got. How do you balance the two?
Yeah, well, a lot of it boils down to time spent playing with one another, and then sort of the repertoire you're pulling from. So that night we had quite a broad mix of. We were doing a lot of jazz standards. Val specifically sang a lot of jazz standards, and she did some pop and R&B too, like Roberta Flack and Valerie, the song Valerie. But
and Justin Bieber.
And Justin Bieber, yes. We, so some of that music we're reading charts. We have music in front of us, and that's the type of thing that if we played more regularly together, we'd memorize that and maybe have a little more freedom. But just so that we're all on the same page, quite literally, we're looking at the same chord progressions, same melody lines. We're all kind of working as a unit. And so, in that sense, it's a little rigid, but I guess there's still a lot of improvisation. And then Emily and I get to use a lot of different chord voicings, and we have certain choices we can make. So it's still very spur of the moment. I think it's still very spontaneous, even though we're within the confines of a song form and chord structure, all that stuff.
Now, Third Wind isn't a band that you play out with a lot. In fact, you've got a couple different bands that you tend to see everywhere. Bare Bones being one of them. You play with Paisan and the Family Brass.
Bare Minimum.
Bare Minimum being one of them.
I only say that because Bare Bones is another area group. So
that is true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. But you do these different projects, and they're usually with different people. Sometimes some of the people are shared between the projects. Mm-hmm. But how many different styles are you playing in a month, or how many different shows are you playing out? Because it seems that at least every weekend you're playing somewhere else with somebody else.
Yes, absolutely. And it, there's really no pattern to it. It might be real heavy with a couple bands for a month, and then we might not play for an entire month. And so, as you mentioned, Paisan and the Family Brass, a lot of classic rock and R&B and country. We might play once a month, in the summer, maybe twice a month. Kind of an offshoot of that band is Bare Minimum that you mentioned. 3 of the members of Paisan, we do kind of an acoustic thing that's kind of more oldies, more country. That band books a lot more just because it's easier to find venues as a 3-piece, and just for size and price and a whole variety of factors. So we might play 2, 3, 4 times a month. In the summer, we might be playing twice a week.
Sure. So I suppose that kind of varies with the season. What's in demand right now, and
yep.
Like you mentioned with the season, I suppose you get in the warmer months demand for a different sort of sound than you would here in what are supposed to be the cooler months of the year.
Right. And I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no worries. I was just going to say, I suppose that also has to do with the type of venues, because you're not going to be playing outdoors in January or February.
Yes, and you really see the number of venues just kind of explode. I mean, there's 10 times more in the summer just because of those nice outdoor patios and things like that. And what's been really encouraging, hopefully you've been seeing this trend, and I know you've been instrumental in helping this, so thank you, is just that there seems to be more and more of a demand for live music post-COVID, I'll say. I'm playing a lot more than I was 4 or 5 years ago, and year round. So, normally January, February were pretty lean months where maybe I only played 3, 4 shows. And I'm looking at this week going, man, I have 3, 4 gigs just this week, and a couple, at least a couple every week.
Talk a little bit about, if you can, you bring up an interesting point. Obviously, COVID shut everything down. Nobody was booking anywhere, and some folks were doing online performances and things like that. Yeah. But now we're seemingly on the other side of that, and live music is. Do you think that that's directly correlated to not being able to have that music, both as artists looking for more unique places to play and listeners just looking for that experience because we didn't get that for so long?
Absolutely. I think it's a combination of both. It's something we all really missed, whether you're a spectator or a performer. It's something we definitely missed for year and a half, 2 years. And I think venues are always looking for a way to separate themselves from their competition and a new way to draw people in. And I think it's a really worthwhile, they found that it really pays off to have live music. And I think there's enough people in this area to support it.
When it comes to venue, you bring up an interesting point here, that the number of venues willing to play music kind of explodes in the summer months with the outdoor patios and things of that. But what makes a good venue as a player? I guess we can ask both sides of that. What makes a good venue as a player and as a spectator? I know, like with our Silver Dollar show, shows that very limited space, and admittedly, it's kind of hard to find a good spot to view it and hear it because of the size of the space. Either you're up close and you get to see it and it's too loud, or you're in the back and it's the perfect volume, but you're not seeing much action. So what makes a good venue on both sides of that, as a player and as a spectator?
Yeah, that's a good question. You bring up a good point about the Silver Dollar of being kind of a small space, but very intimate. And I really, as a spectator, when I see my favorite artists, I kind of prefer those smaller, intimate environments. So it's always a balance of, there's certain places I played before that were great, but they were tiny. They were the size of my living room. And, as a venue, even if you pack the place, it might not be financially sustainable if it's just too small. So you kind of have to find that right balance of big enough and comfortable enough that you can accommodate that many people. There's just so many factors, I think, between you want enough space as a performer that you're not cramped, you're not crowded, you feel relaxed. And then also acoustics, and that's another reason why the summer months are so welcome, is because outdoor music, we don't have to worry about natural reverb and sound ricocheting off walls and things like that. So, acoustics and space, I think, are probably, for both as a performer, as a spectator, probably the two most important things.
If we can back up just a little bit, you had mentioned, obviously no shows during COVID. Before COVID, winter months were a little slower, and now you said you're looking at 3-4 gigs this week alone.
Right.
But before you got to doing 3 to 4 gigs in a week, regardless of the calendar month, how did it start for you? Did it start with at the beginning of our conversation, you had mentioned kind of the school bands and kind of academic playing. Did it start there? And then how did you move to doing solo shows and shows with multiple bands?
Yeah, good question. So a lot of it goes back to, like you said, academic. My teacher, Manfred, was very, very gracious to me at a young age. So about after a year of taking guitar lessons, he invited me to perform with him. The Pipe Dream Center, if you're familiar with it, County Road G, out by Pipe Lake. He puts on free concerts all the time there, and specifically he had these monthly kind of jam sessions that he would lead. He plays piano, and he invited me to play guitar, and so I was hooked. I mean, I played there at least once a month for basically the next 6 years, all through middle school, high school, and so that I got a taste of performing that way. And then it was probably 2 years after I started lessons. So I'm still an 8th grader, only 12, 13 years old. He got me my first paying job, playing, I think, kind of an informal wedding ceremony or reception, I should say, at someone's home. So he was really instrumental in me seeing that there's a career path here. You can get paid to do this if you possess the right skill set and the right equipment. And it just mushroomed from there. We had a band in high school. Me and Travis Thorpe and Nathan Maltzine and a whole bunch of other people. There was a lot of live music happening in those days, and Battle of the Bands, I remember, at Skate City and all over. And
when I was talking with a co-host of my podcast, After Hours. His name is Kordell. You've met Kordell. He's a little bit younger than me, and he was surprised to learn that, like, between 01, 03 or so, Rice Lake and Cumberland and the surrounding communities, there was a little bit of a thriving punk scene in the area. And folks were doing shows, and I remember going to the Boys and Girls Club was above Amundsen's Appliance in Rice Lake at the time. And I don't remember all of the bands that played there, but one band, Return to Sender, was one, and there was another band called Symphony, and I remember them because they handed out the Hershey's Symphony bars during their performance.
Nice.
Did you know either of those two bands, Return to Sender or Symphony?
No, I can't say I did, but I remember being there and that when they're still above Amundsen's there, going to a show probably in the 8th grade or so with some of my best friends and just having a ball. I mean, getting in the mosh pit, and I just loved it. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen anything like it. It was very DIY, and it seemed to be all kids. It was all people my age. You know, there were kind of no adults around. It was a lot of fun, and it wasn't about partying or anything like that. It was all about the music and having a good time.
When it comes to booking shows, and you make an interesting point there, that was just kind of all kids there for the music, for the good time. And it doesn't just have to be kids, but what is it that makes a not just a performance but an event something that you can get lost in, something like that where you walk in and it's just magic? Because you and I both have been to performances that for one reason or another, and it's always something different with each show, that that just makes it truly a magical experience. What do you know if there or can there be a magic formula to create that?
Man, it's hard to conjure, right? I mean, it's hard to create it. I think in a lot of ways it just happens, and it has to do with an energy, you know, without getting too woo-woo. You know, when I think of some of I really like a guitar player by the name of Julian Lage, a contemporary. He gets labeled as jazz, but he does a lot of stuff. And I've seen him a number of times. So let's say I saw him at the Stoughton Opera House. Great show, but kind of very quiet and reserved, and everyone's very polite and clapped. And then about a year later, I saw him at the Turf Club in St. Paul. And
two very different venues.
Yeah, exactly. More of a bar atmosphere. And that was just wild. I mean, he took the stage with an urgency and an energy, and it was they were both excellent shows, 10 out of 10, but that one at the Turf Club was entirely different, and you could feel it. I mean, everyone could feel it. And I really I don't know what I mean. I don't know how you conjure that up or how you put your finger on recreating that. It's a tough thing to kind of define. It's really special.
And perhaps it can't be recreated. You hear about music documentaries or the defining moments over the early days of rock and roll or the early days of country, when the outlaw country artists were just getting together, and how magical Nashville used to be, or other places in Texas. And you go now, and there's historical markers, there's remembrances about that, but maybe those moments can't be recreated. We just have to wait for a new one to happen.
Yes, I think that's a great perspective. Absolutely. And kind of being in the moment and moving forward.
As an artist, how do you, I guess this is a two-part question. How do you recognize that moment might be happening? Because you never can be sure, right? In the moment, you can't be sure. But you can be aware of previous moments like this. How is it?
Sure.
Can you, once you realize that the energy is there, can you capture that and sort of lead that energy as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, part of finding that magic is I think finding the right people to play with that you're comfortable with, and playing with them enough to where you establish a chemistry that you can go places and take chances with that group. I played last Friday at the Lakely in Eau Claire with Sue Orfield on tenor saxophone, Will DeBlay on bass, and North Skager on drums, and that's a group that maybe plays, if we're lucky, 3-4 times a year.
Sure.
We're all busy with other projects. We don't have a name or anything like that yet. But what we all admire about it is that we can take chances. There's a big freedom. We can let things breathe, or we can get really intense. And it's a very dynamic group, from loud to soft. And we found that the crowd really responds to that. They really pick up on that. They're in on it. They're in for the ride. And it's just really, really special. And to your point, we can feel it as it's happening. I don't ever go into the gig going, I know it's going to happen necessarily, but at the same time, I have a trust in when I'm playing with that group and any group. But I'm just using that as an example because it just happened. But there's a certain trust with the performers, and I think with the audience, that you're either in or you're out.
And so, shifting gears just a little bit, and I didn't know I was gonna go this direction, but you seem like a good person to ask. About 10-ish years ago, maybe a little bit more, kind of when Bon Iver was first getting big, Eau Claire was going through a bit of a resurgence, creatively, artistically, musically, and a lot of big things were starting to happen. And now here we are in 2024. We see the fruits of a lot of the things that started around 2010, 2013. What would you say has been the biggest change, both in Eau Claire music scene, but also kind of Wisconsin's Great Northwest, if you will, starting in Eau Claire, using that as the epicenter, and going out from there? Because you had alluded to it, and I feel it too, that we're starting to see, especially up in this area, that live music has a huge pull, and it's not like the cover bands of when you and I were younger, where it was always Def Leppard and Van Halen and nothing else ever. I feel like there's something creative that, I don't know if it started in Eau Claire, but it certainly happened in Eau Claire, and it's happening elsewhere in Wisconsin. Are we maybe seeing the beginnings of something bigger?
Yes, I hope so. In some ways, I think it's part of it. I like to think that it was always there, but Bon Iver definitely made it so there was a spotlight on Eau Claire. All of a sudden, it was on the map, right? And it's really for Rice Lake and the surrounding area. It's the closest kind of large arts community we have, right? Without going to the cities or Duluth. I think there's kind of two things at play, and I don't want to veer off in too many paths. There's kind of the artistic side of the songwriter, right, and the creative side, and then there's sort of maybe the more functional cover band that's playing weddings and getting paid, right? And those two don't necessarily jive. They're kind of two different sides of the coin, and I straddle both of those, and I know a lot of artists who also do. And I guess what I'd like to see more of is more of that original music, more creativity, and I think, to your point, I think that has grown maybe locally. I think of places like the Potter Shed or Brickyard Pottery and certain places that really value originality over, you're just going to come in and play the same CCR songs, which, look, I do that too, and I like doing that. But I think at the end of the day, more and more I'm finding that the spectators, the audience, kind of want something different. They want something new as well, and it's time that we champion that and embrace it.
You allude to something that I've seen more and more online lately in the different musicians Facebook groups that I'm in. It's that battle between cover bands and original bands or original performers. Is there a way, and you might be the perfect person to ask this of, is there a way that that rivalry, the unspoken rivalry, can cease and those worlds can meld together?
I like to think so, and I'm actually very proud of a lot of the groups I'm in, kind of towing that line and embracing both. I think so. And you asked about kind of my solo performances earlier, and I'd like to think that, more and more I'm trying to bring in originals and or at least taking covers and putting my own spin on them. I think kind of you have to carve out your own lane, right? And you have to find your audience, and you really have to put yourself out there and work at it. And it takes a lot of time, and you just kind of have to trust the process and go with it. So I'm not sure I answered your question, but
I think you did. Let's talk about your original music a little bit. Where do you pull from that? Because you've got so many different projects, different influences that one could try and guess about your original music. But when you sit down and you're creating for yourself, is it truly for yourself, or are you thinking about an audience eventually too? Take me into the process.
Interesting question. There's been a lot said about this. I feel like I'm reading Jeff Tweedy's book on songwriting, and I think he touches on that. Rick Rubin, he's the other guy I hear talking about it all the time. I think you have to create it for yourself I think if you're worried about how it's going to be perceived or if it's going to be liked, I think you're setting yourself up for not necessarily for failure, but I mean, if it's not important to you and if it doesn't come across as authentic and very personal, then I think people can sense that. They can kind of tell that it's phony. So I think it sounds selfish, but I think you kind of have to please yourself first.
And so when you're creating these songs, I assume then that you're not thinking about how fans of Bare Minimum are going to receive it, how fans of people that saw Third Wind or saw you perform with Sue Orfield. You're just kind of creating this space for Dustin DeGolyer.
Yeah, you're taking all your influences, the things that turn you on, and you're putting them out there. And some of it is I don't have a ton of experience songwriting. It's something I'm kind of getting back to after being dormant for a number of years. And I used to think you had to wait for that divine moment of inspiration where an idea came to you. And more what I'm finding out, certainly from reading Jeff Tweedy's book, is just it's more about the process. It's something you do every day. It's something you make habit. And out of that, you get better and better. I mean, because it really is a craft. And it doesn't mean that inspiration doesn't come to you. It's still a very magical, spiritual thing that you're creating something out of nothing. But at the same time, you hone it. You get better and better at coming up with ideas, whether they're musical or lyrical.
So if we take all of your inspirations, going back to the early punk days, to the academic, to the jazz, to all of this, how best do you describe the Dustin DeGolyer original sound?
Ooh, wow, that's interesting. I think...
Are these original songs punk rock?
No, they're not. I'd like to sneak a couple in there. I think I did like kind of a Pixies ripoff song once a while back, but I couldn't even remember it. I couldn't play it for you now. I think I've been compared, and I'll take this comparison to Elliott Smith a time or two, just that he kind of took that Beatles song crafting, intricate chords and melodies, and maybe married them with some dark, very personal lyrics. So I think some of the originals kind of are on that side of things.
I have to say that Elliott Smith was one of my all-time favorite singer-songwriters.
Yes, me too.
I was introduced to him on accident, actually. Do you know Andy Nelson by chance? Rice Lake native, plays Eau Claire area.
I can't say I do, no.
We were doing open mics together 15-ish years ago or so, and he would play Son of Sam, and he played it so well. And I always thought that was an Andy Nelson original. Turns out it's not. Right. And when I discovered, I forget the name of the album, but when I discovered that album, from start to finish, there's not a song that I skip on it. It's
that's Figure Eight.
Yes, Figure Eight. I was gonna say I can picture it, and that 8 ball was right there. So yeah, Figure Eight, and it's that's such a glorious album. And so would you say that you pull inspiration then from Elliott Smith while you're crafting, or is that just your sound happens to, because of your influences, happens to fall next to that genre?
I think both. Yeah, I never have in my mind that I want this to sound like someone specifically, but you pull from what you know, and that's his discography definitely takes up a big part of my hard drive. So yeah.
What would you say is, just for the fun of it, what would you say is your favorite Elliott Smith song?
Oh, wow. Oh, now I got to think for a second.
Caught you off guard.
Yeah. Some of those early songs are really, really intimate, and you can kind of tell they're done on like a 4-track recorder, like Needle in the Hay, Clementine. But I also like kind of the more developed songs, like Stupidity Tries off of Figure Eight is... That's kind of more of a Beatlesque big arrangement with strings and, oh man.
I have to ask because you mentioned Elliott's earlier songs that were recorded a little differently. Do you know and do you listen to the Mountain Goats?
I don't. I know of them, but it's not a band I know well. I may have heard them kind of in passing, but
I wouldn't compare them to Elliott Smith. They don't fall in the same genre. But it's really acoustic guitar based, and kind of lyrically, not kind of, very much so leans dark in the lyrical content, but got their start with just cassette recordings and sent them out, and if you listen to the early stuff, you still have that tape hiss in it, and it sounds like they just pressed record in their living room, and away it went. And I think that's part of the magic of some of those recordings is that.
Agreed. I think things can get over polished, and I still find myself going back to sort of that lo-fi music, and you alluded to it earlier with Bradley Noel and Friends, that acoustic record. And I think part of the reason I liked Sublime so much starting out is that it really felt like I could do this.
Yes.
This really sounds like something I could do, because like you said, they're just hitting record on a tape recorder. You know, I used to make recordings on my Talk Boy back in those days.
Do you still got it?
I have the Talk Boy. I don't know that it's functional, but I couldn't part with it. So.
Right, it is a sentimental piece.
That's right.
Well, Dustin, I want to thank you for taking time to chat with us here this morning on Dirty Chai Radio. We have a little bit of your performance from last April with Third Wind with Emily and Val, and so we'll play the first song here on Dirty Chai Radio, also the Live 365 Radio app, and we'll continue it for the YouTube and Facebook stream as well. Again, thank you so much for joining us, Dustin.
Likewise, Ryan, it was a pleasure. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Silver Dollar Saloon. For some of you, this might be your first time being down here. For others, it's revisiting years past, and we're thankful to have each and every one of you here for the night. We've never done jazz in the Silver Dollar before, so personally, I'm a huge jazz fan, so I'm excited for the night. I hope you are too. I'm also your bartender, so if it's a little slow, I apologize. I'll be right with you as soon as I can. We're also running a sound, and let me tell you how honored I am to have such three great, talented musicians here in the Silver Dollar. They go by the name of Third Wind tonight. You can find more information at dirtychairadio.com. We've linked back to their links, and so if you wanted to find more information, each one of these artists here, very talented together, but also very talented on their own. So if you wanted to find shows and support the music wherever they go, it's worth following wherever they're on. Also, tonight's program or performance is being recorded, both audio and visually. So if you like what you hear, visit dirtychairadio.com after sometime in the coming week, and you may be able to listen back to the performance from tonight. So without further ado, I will step out of the way and we'll let the music speak for itself. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, yeah. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me speaking? Hopefully. I'm a quiet speaker, so if I'm mumbling, just yell at me. Okay, we're going to start off with a little There Will Never Be Another You.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like this, and I'll be standing here with someone new. There will be other songs to sing, another fall, another spring, but there will never be another you. There will be other that I may kiss, but they won't thrill me like yours used to do. Yes, I may dream a million dreams, but how can they come true if there will never ever be another you? Another fall, another spring, but there will never be another you. There will be lips that